Good morning, class.
Good morning, madam.
How are you?
We are fine, thank you, madam. And how are you?
I am fine. Sit down.
Well, welcome to the kindergarten at Funzi Primary School. This is a school that the Trust built back in 2008. Along with this school, the biggest school for the older children. You can hear that today is a day like any other, and the kindergarten children have been learning their alphabet. But they are looking forward to today for a very special reason. Children like these from poor homes can often go hungry. When food is available, it can be of poor nutritional value. Malnutrition is common, even among small babies. In the past, in times of drought and major national food shortages, international charities have sent food parcels. The FunziBodo Trust is starting to help children all year round with nutritional food, improving their health and educational prospects. The Trust is providing school children with hundreds of boiled eggs. These are a luxury in Kenyan homes, but they are a vital source of nutrition. The school's head teacher sees the benefits.
Yep, we realized that most of these children do not get breakfast at home because they are coming from families that are not very well off. So sometimes it's important for us to give them these eggs because they get some good nutrition so that they can be able to learn better.
For the children, it's worth going to school, avoiding empty stomachs, and they look forward to these special days. They're very, very good eggs, aren't they? Yeah, we're enjoying our eggs, aren't we? You've got to test them to be sure they're right, but great breakfast, isn't it? Enjoying them? And all the eggs for the children are thanks to these ladies here, the FunziBodo Trust chicken farm, which started a year ago when these chickens arrived as one-day-old chicks. This free-range farming project also works as a training facility, teaching agricultural skills to children and to adults. Excess eggs will also be sold. They'll fund medicines for the FunziBodo Trust clinics. And so, this is the new phase of the project. This house alone can hold up to 1,500 birds. They're all going to be free range, so they can come in and go out. There is water coming in automatically from the well to these feeders here. When we're producing about 3,000 eggs a day, then we will be able to provide eggs for every single child in the schools, and we will start earning the critical money that will keep our clinics going, buying medicines. Whatever the time of night, the FunziBodo clinics are ready to respond to emergencies. Nurses carrying torches walk to homes in the bush or prepare to deliver babies at the clinic's birthing rooms in the middle of the night. But sometimes we receive appeals for help for very extreme cases. At 5 o'clock in the morning, an 11-year-old girl was brought to hospital. She was suffering severe burns to her back, to her groin and to her legs. A pan of boiling water had tipped over at her home and had scalded her, leaving her with first-degree burns. Her father carried her in a tuk-tuk, a small motorised vehicle, for hours and was turned away from 2 hospitals the family just couldn't afford to pay. It was then that the FunziBodo Trust were called in to help.
I received Rebecca that night when she came. The girl, she was a little girl, and since she was little, because of the pain, she was so much hurting. She was crying, the burns were so severe, and we had to put her on medication, daily dressing of the wounds, and I think she was so much in pain, and we had to control that.
In Rebecca's case, you were able to get help, which I know isn't easy, but this must be something that's happening in villages up and down the coast.
It happens all the time. In the hinterland, a lot of the kids get burnt when the mother's cooking the evening meal. They're too poor to come into hospitals for help, so I really don't know what happens to these poor children.
How did you feel that day when you were faced with a big bill, but you didn't know how you were going to find the money?
I don't know. I don't know. All my thoughts were, we've got to save Rebecca, we've got to save Rebecca. And then I came back home and I said, how am I going to raise this money to pay this? And I suddenly remembered Ashley. And that's when I immediately emailed you, SOS, please help me. And when your immediate reply came in, wow, I felt like touching the sky with a finger.
It was Luciana, a leader of the South Coast Residents Association, who alerted us to Rebecca's case. She's going to take us to see how she's doing now. I know that at the time there was no money to pay for this emergency treatment. What has it meant to you that people came forward and were ready to help in this way?
I was very grateful because I was very confused. I don't know what to do. My child is born in the hospital and the bill is too big to me to pay. Then when Luciana told me there is someone can pay me for the bill of my child, I was very happy. Even I was crying because I was very confused. I don't know what to do. I was imagining how long I will be in the hospital to find the bill, but I have nothing to say, but only to thank all the people who decided to pay for my daughter, and now she can walk, because by that time I was crying in the hospital. I can't eat. I was very confused because I have no help. I can help her only to cry and to pray to God. But God will, where there is no way, God will get a way.
Rebecca's recovery from burns to large parts of her body is remarkable, and it's thanks to the quick intervention of the Trust. She will continue to receive our support to aid her full recovery and her return to normal life. How about this? Is that good? For a very long time now, we've been taking patients with disabilities to a centre some distance away from there. But we've been very conscious that there are many children in villages around here who are not being treated and not being heard, and often are just left to struggle in their homes. So it was a great joy to us that this year we were able to open our own physiotherapy centre. And already we've got people coming quite some distances to be treated at this new place. This little boy has delayed learning, and for a long time people thought that he would be capable of very little. But as you can see now with the physiotherapy centre, his limbs are getting stronger and he is being able to walk, albeit supported. But the physiotherapist believes that in the long term he will be able to walk unaided. So this is Monaciti, and she's got one leg shorter than the other. And we're just getting her limbs working so that she can then have some special boots made, and then she should be able to walk quite normally after that. Just strengthening her lower limbs at the moment. Oh, how about this? How about this? Is that good? No. Oh. How important is this centre here in Bodo?
It's very, very important because the number of children with physical handicapping conditions are getting assistance within the community setup. So it's very, very good for that this institution is within the community.
Do you actually see lives being significantly changed because of work like this?
Yeah, very, very because we've been able to identify so many children within the community, and this institution has really helped them.
Our 2 clinics and birthing rooms do thousands of consultations every year, offering free medicines, funding operations and identifying life-threatening diseases using our medical lab. Today, we are working with another charity, the Kwale Eye Centre. providing cheap glasses and identifying more serious cases requiring operations. These are offered cheaply or free to those who cannot pay. And this woman, whose eyes had been damaged by an insect, was at risk of losing the use of her eye altogether if the trust hadn't intervened today. But for many people, there was just good news, that they could have glasses for the first time, and that they would be able to see better. Near to Bodo is a giant sugar factory called Kiskol. It does provide some work in the fields of sugarcane, but this is often backbreaking and it's poorly paid. Most people in the villages can only get this kind of job. At the moment, most of the fields around here are empty, but very soon planting will begin and these giant sugarcane behind me will grow up. It's then that the hard work begins, people having to cut this down with machetes, and it's very poorly paid work. So last year, a group of students approached us. They had no high school education, they were too poor to go to school, saying, could you please provide us with some training to get some better jobs and to get our families out of poverty? And that's exactly what we started to do. Rajab was one of two young men who came asking for help to learn how to use heavy machinery. Rajab now has a job here with Kiskol, and the other young man is working for the county government. And this has transformed their lives from one of poverty to one where they can now earn a decent wage and support their families. So Rajab, how has this changed your life, having this opportunity?
Actually, I thank the trust, because the trust it take me to the cause. Now I benefit from the cause, and it has changed me from my life. Now I become in good earning money, so it helped me. It has helped me in good terms. Yeah.
Earning that extra money, how has that changed life for you and your family?
It has changed me and my family. It was in hard time, but according to my life. But now I'm earning good, so there is no problem and no.
Being able to use a toilet and wash your hands afterwards is about as ordinary as it gets. But in Funzi, the only option for many people is to go into the bush when they want to use the toilet. Or at night and at low tide, people even go and use the beach. And all of this can lead to people picking up diseases and illnesses. And in the past, this has actually claimed lives in both Funzi and in Bodo. Now all of that is coming to an end, thanks to a £20,000 investment by the Funzi and Bodo Trust. Toilet blocks are being built right across the island, with each group of homes being responsible for one of the blocks. And at night time there'll be solar lighting, and of course there will be facilities to wash their hands too. We're hoping this is the end to unnecessary disease and possibly death. So this is really good news for the people of Funzi.
Yeah, this is very good news, and it was received very nicely by adults and children, because before that people used to relieve themselves in the bushes or at the beach, but now this is an end to that, and it is a savior of lives, because it was poor sanitation.
Well, that ends our report from Funzi Island for this year, and a look at all the progress that's being made. Just a quick footnote about our free-range chickens. Thanks to our friends at the BBC Countryfowl programme, we've learnt that they can get very stressed very easily, and the best way is to provide them with a few toys. So we're providing CDs, which they can use as mirrors, rattles so they can make plenty of noise, and loads of footballs as well so they can have fun. So thanks for your support this year from the chickens and from us and everybody else. Goodbye.
THAKYOU, thank you. thank you. THANKYOU, thank you, thank you. THANKYOU, THANKYOU, thank you, 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 thank you.